talent, a lot of interesting story in song and dance that people will want to see when they visit here. Just make sure that those kids aren't doing that for the rest of their lives. That's fun while you're going to school. But they need to have the education component that goes with it. So they're only doing that so that they can assimilate their culture and pass on that culture. But that is not going to bring them their daily bread as they get older. It's a part of it. You noticed that we had the cultural diversity in both the strengths and the weaknesses. And that is all in how you see it. It's the old cup half full, half empty thing. And the truth is, if you capitalize on the strengths of being culturally diverse and minimize the problems, it is a huge advantage. Cultural diversity is new to our entire globe. We thought that a long time ago, with Hitler, we lost the idea that there was a perfect race and that everybody else had to succumb to the great intelligence and so on. But there are still people out there who figure they're the right way and the only way, and that's it. So untrue. We benefit so much from each other's perspectives. And that's the way we need to see it. We can make that happen too. Summary, next slide. We have a huge potential, a great opportunity right now. What we want to do is focus our energy on positive outcomes and focus all of our energy towards what we want to see happen rather than infighting or attacking or coming out with negatives. I don't want it this way because. Then tell us how we're going to make it happen your way. Oh, well, I haven't figured that out yet. I know I just don't want it this way. That happens all the time. In economic development, we call people NIMBYs. It's an acronym for Not in My Backyard. And that means, hey, this is a great project. I love it. It's wonderful. Just don't put it close to me. We need it. I want it in my community, but I want it over the other side of town. That's where it belongs, not where I live. Those are NIMBYs. But we also have people that we refer to as cavemen. Cavemen are citizens against virtually everything. Cave. They aren't really sure. They know they've got it in their mind that there's something they're protecting. They aren't sure how to get there, but in the meantime, they're just against them all. And that is very destructive to an economy. Must work together, must think together, must look at the positives. And you must invest in social and physical infrastructure. Social infrastructure, however, is not necessarily a lot of welfare programs. It is not asking for the federal government to come up with the answer to our problems. I'm sure you have all heard the story of, in a very, very poor land, a family is given some milk and they have their food for the day. Or somebody with a bigger plan says, no, I'm going to give them the cow so that they'll be able to have milk throughout their lives. I want to tell you, they haven't got it yet. What they really want to do is teach them animal husbandry so that they can grow their own cow and grow whatever else they want to have and not rely on anyone else from the outside, because they will now have the knowledge themselves. That's what it's about. That's investing in the future, in the intellect of the community, making it happen for yourself. And right now, yeah, we need incentivizing. You bet we need it. And the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act that everybody simply calls ARA, but think about what that is. Recovery and reinvestment. That's the money you can start with right now as a result of this blessed military buildup, which is going to be an asset in any event. And your growth will happen in any event. And people will come from off island in any event. So look at this as a huge opportunity it is. It's a golden opportunity. We must capitalize on it and grow Guam into a tiger. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gail. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Now, I know we're coming close to our panel session, but I wanted to give our federal partners an opportunity to provide some thoughts about, despite the buildup, in light of the buildup, what kind of resources that we can take advantage of in terms of strategic investments. Gail talked about economic development, business development, the bottom line, net profit, return on investment to our shareholders, economic development, the bottom line, quality of life, a much better quality of life. And so, as a federal agency, the USDA Rural Development Office has been very instrumental in assisting our community in a number of different projects. I know that along many different federal government agencies, they speak about the need to build local capacity. And we talk about investment of federal dollars. They're always looking at how are you, as a pursuant of federal dollars, going to leverage existing capacity, existing resources to capitalize on competing federal dollars across the 50 states and other territories, so that the types of investments that are going into the community are going to broaden the opportunities and certainly build up your community even more to affect the bottom line of improved quality of life, improved standard of living. So I'll begin, Joe, with you with regard to what are these opportunities that we haven't yet capitalized on, and what are others that certainly we can look forward to.
Thank you. Well, with this community and community buildup, it's so tempting and very easy to say that there's a business opportunity here. There's ways to make money. I think we've heard that throughout the course of the day. But there are many of us out there that maybe getting into a business, starting a business, is not necessarily your forte. I appreciate Ms. Cooper's devotion to community service, but I remember attending a USDA national conference. There's about 1,000 attendees about 4 or 5 years ago in Orlando. And the presenter actually said something very interesting, though. What's going to lead rural development efforts in the future is going to be nonprofits and non-government organizations. Now, if you can see how Ms. Cooper just has a passion for helping people, helping her community build itself and build its capacity, that's something that is a relatively new concept for us here in Guam. There are some nonprofits out there that we like to leverage with. I bring, for an example, the issue of affordable housing here in Guam. We're all subject to the market forces. We can't control how real estate is priced. We can't control construction costs. But a novel idea is we partnered with another federal agency in Gura, and we partnered with a nonprofit organization to drive costs down to develop a 58-unit housing subdivision. Okay? So that was it's the first time we've ever done this, and from Gura provided about a $3 million grant, and USDA provided a $1.5 million low-interest loan. Interesting about this is we had the nonprofit organization applying for a $1.5 million loan, and their total assets in their books is only about $20,000. So it's a novel approach, but it's another way to bring rural services to the island in the areas of housing, business development. And I think we heard many times before that we're starting to realize the importance of renewable energy and energy efficiency. This administration also recognizes the importance of having the nation less dependent on fossil fuels. We have energy grants. This is probably the only grant I'm aware of that goes right to a for-profit business. We can actually provide a grant of up to $500,000. Loan of up to $25 million to help a business with those investments. But the problem is, we lack grant writers.